very good afternoon to you out there. This is still Impact Business Radio, IBR 92.5 FM, and you're welcome to the program Let's Talk Business on IBR 92.5 FM. My name is Omodele Oyedeko. And yes, Let's Talk Business is that program where we get to look at anything and everything that has to do with business. We get to look at the important things you should know for any business you're doing. We also get to have interviews from time to time with entrepreneurs and people in the business world who can talk to us about what it takes to start a business and what you should know about business. And so today on Let's Talk Business, what exactly are we looking at? I'm going to be talking to you about what you should know before you start your business, because it's not just for you to just dabble into something and say, oh yes, I have money, I want to do this thing. There are certain things you need to know before you start your business, because the decision to start a business is a very tough one, and knowing how to start is even tougher. But there are things and there are skills and the right information that can help you to become a successful entrepreneur. So that's what I'm going to be doing today on Let's Talk Business. Now, first things first, before you go into any business or before you do anything regarding a business, you need to prepare yourself. But be it small, be it big, you need to prepare yourself. You might not think it's important, but really there's a thin line between success and failure. So running a business, especially in Nigeria with the economy, is very, very tough. And so you need to ensure that even with the several businesses you have there, you stand out. And how can you do this? You need to prepare yourself. You could go to seminars on the chosen line of business you wish to venture in. You could read books, about people that have done that particular thing before. You also need to look at, if this is something that someone has done before and maybe it failed, why did that business fail? Then you can try to avoid those mistakes and the errors that particular person made. So those are things you need to do when you want to start your business. Prepare yourself. And also, when we talk about preparation, there's really no business that you start, no matter how small, that you wouldn't need capital. It's very, very important. So you need to understand the importance of capital in your business. So you need to think of, okay, how am I going to fund this? Do I need to get a loan? Am I going to use my savings for this business? But it's very, very important for you to have the capital for you to execute that particular business. And of course, even if you have the capital, but you have a bad business idea, you're going to fail in the end. So you also need to have a good business idea. So to successfully start a small business in Nigeria, you must have a good idea. Any idea or business opportunity will do, but just ensure it's a good one. And how would you know it's a good one? You have to do your research. This thing, is it profitable? Are people doing it already? This particular environment is it going to work out? Those are the things you need to think of when thinking of your business idea. So you need to have a good business idea. It's not just about you having money and just dabbing into something. You need to ensure that you're investing your money into something good, something profitable, because every businessman is after the profits he can get from that business. And you should also ensure that you're solving a problem. People majorly pay for products and services that solve a particular problem they're experiencing. So it could be of help to someone to assist them in taking care of their children. It could be a drug, to relieve a particular pain. It could even be an umbrella to protect them from the rain. But whatever it is you're doing, you should ensure it's something that is useful to the people, something that will solve a particular problem in their life. So whatever it is you want to produce, be it a service or a product, it has to be something that is beneficial to people out there. So whatever business you're doing, ensure is something that people will buy into and people need very well. Because in times of economic recessions, people focus more on what they need more than what they want. So it's very important you get something that people need. For example, I told you umbrella now. During rainy season, people need umbrella because they want to protect themselves from the rain. So look at something that people need. Then go into that business and it will be good. And then you should also do a feasibility study. What do I mean by feasibility study? You need to check around. There's so many things you need to do. That's where your research comes in. You need to look at your environment. You need to look at the money you have. You need to look at the business. You need to look at people that your competitors. Yes, you also need to consider them as well. Are these people I can compete with? This environment I'm in, is this particular business going to sell? my raw materials I'm going to need for this business, how do I get them, and all those things. You need to do your research and your feasibility study, because it's when you look at all those things you know, okay, if this is possible or not. So if it's not possible, you can just divert into something else, so that it won't be that when you now start, you now find out that okay, this thing is not possible. By that time it might be too late because you've invested your money already. So you should ensure before you go into any business or before you dabble into any business, do your research, do your visibility study. You should also note that ideas are very, very cheap. It's very, very easy for you to have an idea, but execution is expensive. So now that you have a business idea, a wonderful business idea, the next thing you need to do is to set up your business, because really executing that business can be very, very difficult. So you need to, that's why I said research is very, very important. You need to think of what you need to do to execute that business. Do you need to buy machines? Do you need to employ people? Whatever it is that you need to put all those things together, no matter how small it is. Even if it's just one person you need, or two people, or if it's just you that would start that business, you should ensure that you execute it properly. And also you should understand your market. Before jumping into any business or industry, make sure you have a thorough understanding about the market you're going into. You need to look at who are the customers, how do they want to be served. You need to look at your competitors. You need to look at maybe the market leader. You also need to look at, okay, this particular business, are there associations, or are there people I have to join, or are there things that I need to do before going into that particular business? These are things you need to look at before starting your business. And your customers are very, very important. Really, no matter the business you go into, if you don't have customers, that business is as good as dead. So you need to ensure that you have customers that will buy into that idea, and also look at your major competitors. How do I stand out from these people? You need to be outstanding. What's that one thing that I will do that will make me different, so that people would not, would leave that person and come for me? There has to be something that would attract them. So look at how you can do things differently from your competitors, and how you can attract people to yourself from all those other people, because definitely they are used to those people before, and for you, you're just coming in. So you need to ensure you do something different, something outstanding to attract your customers. So yes, I said it's sell what your customers want and make sure it's unique. Then another thing you also need to do is to write a simple business plan. Now, this is another point where most Nigerians miss it. It's estimated that over 85% of small business owners in Nigeria operate without a business plan. So you need to have a business plan. Now, what do I mean by a business plan? You need to look at, okay, from the beginning, from the onset, what do I have to do? You also have to bring in the money that you're going to use. This is the capital I'm using to start. 5 months from now, what is the profit I stand to gain? If you're going to loan money, you also have to look at your payment plan for that money. You have to look at yourself, okay, 5 years from now, what do I seek to achieve? And you also have to understand that, it's in two ways. It's either you succeed or you fail. So what happens if I succeed, and what happens if I fail? What if you think that, okay, in 3 months you start getting your money back and you don't? Do you have a backup plan? All those things are things you need to consider when you want to write a simple business plan. It's not that you will not employ people and then 3 months after you don't have money to pay their salaries. It's just very, very wrong. So you need to have a backup plan that, okay, so what if I don't get this money back? For most businesses, really, 1 year, 2 years, you might not get the money you expect to get. But as time goes on, you begin to make your profit back. So what's your plan for the 1 year, for the 2 years? Do you have money that can sustain yourself or your people or your staff for the 1 year or the 2 years? You need to understand that. So all these are things that will come up in your business plan. And you also need to know your strengths. Focus on what you do well. Because really, if you're doing something that you're not very good at, it might not come out well. So you need to focus on your strengths, focus on your weaknesses, and these are things that will help to bring up your business. If you're the kind of person that likes to, you don't like to concentrate, or you're the kind of person that cannot sit down and monitor a particular business, maybe that's your weakness. You cannot just sit down and one point and monitor something, then ensure you have somebody there, maybe a manager, that will help you to monitor it. So you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. If you're the kind of person that you don't know how to manage your finances well, then you need to get a good accountant that will help you manage your finances well. If for starters you might not be able to employ an accountant, but go to your family, go to your friends. I'm sure you have an accountant, within your family or amongst your friends, so you can just ask that person to help you out. That, okay, how do I do this, how do I do that, how does my account, how do I make sure my account is balanced? So you need to do all those things. And also, your location is very, very, very important. You need to ensure that wherever your business is located, you can get enough profit. Sometimes you might have a good business plan, or you might have a good business idea, but your location is going to put people off. They don't want to come all the way. Let's say you're a fashion designer and your house or your shop is like far away from civilization or far away from where people can access you. After they come first, second time, and they get somebody else in the city, they wouldn't come to you anymore. So you should try to get maybe your shop, or you should try to get your location in a place where people can easily come to you, people can easily access you. So your location also is very, very important. You need to think of, okay, the raw materials I'm going to need, how close are they? How close is the place to my location or to my business place? If you're the kind of person that is into, let's say you are selling rice or beans, how do people get the rice or beans across to you? If you're the kind of person that is into cement, you need to ensure that your location is in a place where houses are just coming up. But if you're in a place where houses are already developed, people might not patronize you. So you need to go to maybe a site or an environment where houses are just coming up and people are just beginning to build houses. That's the kind of environment where you see that cement and blocks can actually sell. So your business should actually determine your location and should ensure you get a good location for your business. Then you also need to ensure that you obtain the necessary licenses and permits. We have CAC, we have other law enforcement agencies and other places you need to go. You need to ensure that you do everything lawfully. Whatever you're doing, it has to be legal. So you should ensure you obtain the necessary licenses. For some businesses, like, okay, let's say you're an hairdresser now, they have the association where they have some certain things they do. If you're a tailor, they have their own body too. So try to join those people, try to join that particular body and know what their requirements. If you have to pay this particular money, if you have to pay this particular sum of money, you should ensure that you do all those things before you start your business. But just ensure that whatever you're doing is legal, because you want to face challenges later in life. Try to register your business with Corporate Affairs Commission. It's also very, very important. No matter how small your business is, ensure you register your company. And then when you register your company, you also register your name. So this is when you can know if someone else already has that name or something, because you also need to build your brand. But if you're trying to build your brand and let's say you call your name ABC Company Limited and someone else already has that name, you won't be able to build your brand well, because there are two of you sharing that particular name. So you need to look for a name that is unique and go to the Corporate Affairs Commission so that they can help you check if someone else doesn't have that name for your company. So register your company. Alright, so the program is still Let's Talk Business on Impact Business Radio, IBR 92.5 FM. And on the program today, I've been talking to you about what it entails or what you need to know about starting your business, the important tips for you to start your business. And there are still so many things to talk about concerning starting your business, because I told you that it's very important for you to know these things before you dabble into any business so that you don't fail in the end. And the first thing I told you is to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself financially, prepare yourself emotionally, prepare yourself in every way you think you can prepare yourself. Do your research and know the things that you need to know about your business. Then you should also have a good business idea, because it's not just about you having money, but you should also ensure that whatever you're doing is something that would serve the people, something that people need, and something that will be profitable in the end. And I also told you that you should do a feasibility study, do your research, ensure that you find out everything you need to know. People that have failed in this business, why did you fail? What are the things I need to do to make sure mine is better? And I also told you that you should understand your market, understand your customers, your competitors, understand everything you need to know about them. Why do they need this thing? What can I do to make mine different? What can I do to be unique and to be outstanding from others? And I told you that you should write a simple business plan. Have your plan. Okay, 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now? Where do I see this business? What are my plans? Have a backup plan, especially financially, because you don't want to, start your business and then after 3 months you don't have money to continue to pay your staff, or you don't have money to do some certain things that you need to do, and then you now have to pack up. It shouldn't be so. You should ensure you have all these things in your business plan. You should also know your strengths and your weaknesses so that it can help, your strengths, you build on them to help you build your business well. And you can also work on your weaknesses so that it doesn't affect your business. Find a good location. It's very, very, very important. Location is important because I told you, if you have a good business or if you have something you're doing that is good and you don't have a good location, people won't be able to come there to you. So be in the midst of people, that need a particular thing you're doing. So location is important. And also you should obtain the necessary licenses and permits. Register your company with the Corporate Affairs Commission. You should ensure that whatever association or whatever dues you have to pay, you should do that and build your brand, build your name. Then you should also think of a creative name for your business. You don't want a name that people already know or someone already has. So you should ensure you think of a creative name for your business. Until now, the next thing I'm going to tell you after doing all these things is to start your business. Really, people procrastinate a lot, and because you're scared or maybe because of fear of certain things, you don't want to start that business. But trust me, if you start today, 1 year from now, you're going to be grateful that you started, because it can only get better. But if you don't start at all, how would you know the challenges you face? How would you know that you can overcome them? But you need to go ahead and start. Just do it. Really, just do it, because you never know what will happen tomorrow. You never know what will happen. When you do your research and you do all the necessary things you're supposed to do, you have your capital, you have a good location, just start the business, and you find out that people will start coming to you if you have a good business plan. So start the business and stop procrastinating. Then you should also ensure that you get honest feedback when you start. Talk to your customers, talk to your friends about the product, and also if they scold you, if they tell you negative things, don't take it the wrong way. You should ensure you build on those things. And really, nobody's perfect, but from time to time, as time goes on and as you keep going on in that particular business, you keep getting better and better by the day. So you need to keep developing your skills. Go for seminars, go for trainings, watch videos on YouTube, and really read, so that you can keep developing your skills. Things are changing every day. People are coming up with new ideas every day. So you want to ensure you stay in the market. You want to ensure you remain number one. And how can you do this? You need to keep developing yourself, keep developing your skills. Make sure you use technology well. Technology has really helped a lot, of businesses. So you should ensure you also use technology positively for your business. You should also ensure you live within your means. Your budgets that you've planned out in your business plan and the things you've planned out, ensure you live within your means. Don't, if you have a plan that, okay, this is what I'm going to do for January, don't use the money for February to do something in January, or say, oh, I'll borrow it, by the time I make this money I'll pay it back. What if you don't make the money? So live within your means and ensure that you try to separate your personal business or your personal life from your business. There's no family business. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, because I'm your friend or because I'm your family, I'm going to take this thing and I will not pay or something. No family in business. Although you can do discounts from time to time just to encourage people, but do not say because this person, you will not sell, or things will not come out well if you say, yeah, because this person is my family or my friend. So no family in business is very, very important. You should also know that you can't do it all by yourself. Nobody is an island. You need people. You need to ensure that even if you want to start the business yourself, but sometimes you also need to ask people. You need to get these things from people. No one is an island. So ensure you're very friendly with people, your customers, your friends. Everybody can help you financially. It doesn't matter, no matter how small the person is. It could be your cleaner at work that will give you that advice that's going to help to move your business to the next level. So you should ensure you use people and don't believe you're an island or you can do it all by yourself. And now, there are questions you need to ask yourself before starting. So I'm going to give you 20 questions you need to know. 20 questions that you should think well or think of very well to ensure that you become a successful entrepreneur. So what are those questions that you need to ask? You need to ensure that you ask yourself the necessary questions. Number one question is, why am I going into this business? Why do I want to do this business? Why do I want to go into this business? Do I want to do it because of the money or because of the passion I have for it? You should ensure you have passion, because if you have passion, when the challenges come, you'll be able to overcome them. When it becomes difficult, trust me, the road won't be smooth. Life is not a bed of roses. You're going to face challenges, but you should ensure that whatever it is you're going into, when the challenges come, when the problems come, you can overcome them. So ensure that whatever it is you're doing, it shouldn't just be because of the profit you stand to gain, but you should also ensure that you are doing it because you love what you're doing. So think of the reason why you want to start business. Then also you need to ensure that you think of the money that you have. Now, it's okay for you to maybe take a loan here and there, but do not take something that is too much for you to handle. You shouldn't take the kind of loan that 5 years from now you still have to keep paying the loan. So you should think of that as well. Now, what kind of business do I want? That's also something that you should ask yourself before you go into the business. Who is my ideal customer? There should be somebody out there, there should be people out there that your product or service is going to serve. So you need to think of your ideal customer. Then what product or services will my business provide? I told you earlier on that your business should be able to solve a problem, should be able to solve somebody's problem. So you need to think of the problem that your business is going to solve, or your product and services. Then, am I prepared to spend the time and money needed to get my business started? Trust me, no matter the business you're going into, every startup needs lots of money and time and energy. So think of it. Do you have that kind of energy? Do you have that kind of time? Do you have that kind of money to make sure your business moves well? It's like a baby. You need to nurture it and to help the baby grow until the baby can stand on its own or her own. So you should ensure you spend quality time, money and energy. Then also think of what differentiates my business idea and the products and services I'll provide from others in the market. You need to think of something that will make you unique and outstanding. It's very, very important. Then where will my business be located? I told you the importance of location earlier on. Then how many employees will I need? I've told you no one is an island. You can't do it all on your own. So if you're going to have to employ people, think of how many people am I going to employ? How much do I want to pay? Can I afford to pay these people this amount? And also look at other organizations and look at the amount they are paying their staff, so that you can compare it to your own and also pay them within that range. So you should think of that as well. Then think of the suppliers you need. For whatever product or service you're going to do, you need raw materials for that particular thing. So think of the suppliers, and then think of the money you need to get started. Think of, will I need a loan? And then how soon will it take before my product and services are available? Is it going to take, like, okay, this particular thing, if I start today, is it going to take 5 days for it to get ready, or is it going to take 10 days? Think of that as well. And how long do I have until I start making profit? I told you every businessman is out there because of the profit. So you need to think of the time. But sometimes it doesn't work out. If you think that, okay, after 3 months you start making the money, you need to also put it at the back of your mind that it might not work out and things might not work out as planned. So even if you don't make that money in 3 months, you should ensure that you still have the passion and you still have what it takes to continue till you start making the money. Then you should think of your competition as well. And then how will I price my products compared to my competition? You have to also think of money, how to attract people. So maybe at first you might do your things, cheaper than others actually, so that people can get attracted, and then as time goes on you can now begin to increase the price and everything. So you should ensure you use money to attract people like cheap things, really. No matter how rich a person is, people like cheap things. They like good quality but cheap things. So try to use money to also draw them to yourself. Then how will I set up the legal structure of my business? If you can get a lawyer to help you out with the legal aspect of your business, please do, so that you don't run into trouble later in future when you don't do all the necessary things you're supposed to do legally. Then taxes. What are the taxes I need to pay? You should ensure you pay your tax so that it can be used for the development of our dear country, Nigeria. So please pay your tax as an organization. It's very, very important. Then think of the kind of insurance you need as well. It's very important for you to insure your life, to insure your company, so that if anything happens, you have something to fall back on. So insurance is also important as well. Then think of, how will I manage my business? And lastly, how will I advertise my business? Now, marketing is very, very important. When you start your business, how do you want people to know about it? What are the marketing strategies that you want to take, or what are the steps you need to take for people to know about it? Do you want to have flyers? Do you have to go to the media houses? Do you want to come to Impact Business Radio to advertise your business so that people can know about it? These are things you need to think of when starting your business. They are very, very important. And so yes, if you're just joining us, this is Let's Talk Business on Impact Business Radio, IBR 92.5 FM. And I'll be talking about tips for starting your business. They are very, very important tips, and I hope that these tips will be useful to you. And above all, just start your business. Start today. Just do it. You'll be grateful, in a year's time or in 2 years' time that you started today. So my name is Omodele Oyedeko, and Let's Talk Business comes up same time from Mondays till Thursdays. So ensure you stay tuned to Impact Business Radio, IBR 92.5 FM, and have a lovely day.